is one is like, are you looking at your life like a checklist, like a to-do list, or are you looking at it as like an experience, an ongoing experience? Because if you look at it as a checklist, then once you check it off, you don't see that as an object of happiness anymore. You know, like once you buy the car, now it's just there. Once you get married, now like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Whereas like those things can all like compound off each other.
Yeah.
Like if you look at if you look at life as more like just as an experience, then like there's things that you want to do, but once you do them, once you acquire them, that doesn't mean that now they're just checked off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to In My Opinion. We know it's been a little while. You know, we had some things going on, but that's all sorted out now, and we're back to give you some more content. And now we're going to be on our content grind, so we're going to be dropping new videos every every Monday morning. So make sure you guys subscribe to see all that good stuff. Today we're going to be talking about something that Peyton brought up, which is the idea of always wanting more. And that's a big thing in our society right now, just because it's very materialistic, very like go get it. There's always another step to get to once you reach to where you're gonna be. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that today.
And I want to start off with main problem is always especially as we are younger. I feel like once you get older, it kind of goes away, but still, it's always that drive to want better and more by looking at other people having things and you wanting it, or realizing what you got might not just be the best and wanting more. And it is great to be content with life, but where is it to a point like why would you want to be content with just your regular life? And where's the balance in wanting more and it being good for you?
Yeah.
Because we want to do I want to succeed. We want our YouTube channel to blow up and stuff. Like I'm not content where we are now.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say wanting more would be bad because
for sure.
I wanted to be successful. And another stuff happened I enjoy looking at cars and stuff, and we brought it up. Is I always liked cars, and I saw a better one, and I always wanted more. But that drives me to want to go get a better job, to do better, to make money to go do that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's a great thing to do, to have the drive to do it.
Yeah.
But people always say wanting more is a bad thing, because you just be okay with what you have.
Right. So yeah, there's definitely the question is definitely where to find that balance, because like we were saying about the car thing. So you have to ask yourself why do you want the next level? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is it more of a symbol of wealth, or a symbol of status, or is it something that you really want? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously I'm not questioning whether or not you actually enjoy looking at it, right? Because you can enjoy that, but then you might want that next level of car, the next level of house, and the next level of clothes, merely as a status symbol, or a symbol of being above somebody
and
else.
Then you can also say once you reach that goal and once you get there, I think once you reach the goal you got to be content, because once you reach there you're like, oh wait, I got it, now I got to be even better from there.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely
a
ladder that just never ends.
And that's why I feel is hard, because I'm sure as everyone, as just like us, we want to do better. We're only in college, just getting through our life right now.
Yeah.
And we want to everyone wants to turn out successful, making money, have everything.
Mm-hmm.
But at the point where is it just being happy is happy. For everyone it's something different. And people can also put it into different things, like saying if I had this car, that would be it for me, I'd be happy.
Right.
If I had this relationship, that would make me happy. Mm-hmm. They would make me happy. I'm good there.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of different things like that in the world where you don't know what to do. You don't know when to stop. And I think that being content and wanting more to only be successful and help you is what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't let it take over to always want and be the best, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I think that a big issue with that ladder of success, or ladder of achieving something, is that you don't look at it as another part of your life. You look at it as a goal, as the focus of your life. Because how you were saying, right? If I get this thing, then I'm gonna be happy. Once I reach there, then I'll calm down.
Yeah.
If that's your mindset, and those things are the source of happiness, and you kind of don't let yourself be happy unless you're at that point.
Yeah.
That can be a good motivator, but then there's also a point where it's
the time period getting to there might have not been so enjoyable.
Yeah, it's not enjoyable. And then once you get there, since you put everything towards that and didn't let yourself enjoy anything else, once you get to that point, then what is that?
Yeah.
it means less because now you're there and you feel like it's supposed to make it. In your head, you had the idea that like when I get there, everything is gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be good. Everything's gonna line into place. And then if you get there and that doesn't happen, then you're really disappointed.
You think it's gonna be like a big fulfillment, and then if it doesn't end up being that fulfillment you always thought it would be,
Yeah, exactly.
it could be like a dream crusher.
So,
I was gonna say like, I think the best thing is just to always take a step back and look at where you are right now, and just be happy with what you are, and know that it is okay to want better and to be better,
right?
But to still be okay with where you're at now.
Yeah.
But there's also, like I say, there's always problems with saying that, because what if where you're at right now is not the best?
Yeah.
Or like good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I guess the question is like, if you're content there, does that make it the best for you? Or you know what I mean? Is there a point where like everybody should be good, and like, or is there a point where everybody, no matter what, you should be working towards something better?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are the goals? I'm always just gonna bring this up because personally to me, I feel like everyone could you have your own personal thing that you want to work towards.
Yeah.
Maybe getting like your degree, getting a certain job,
losing weight, anything.
Yeah, everyone has their own thing. But for me, I guess it was for getting like a car. So I always bring that up. You always put yourself in your own situation.
Yeah, for sure.
I was always driving to it and getting it, but I feel like on my way to doing it, obviously there's steps, and I took the steps and did it, and still was enjoying what I was doing to get there.
Right. Okay.
And like now that I'm about to fulfill it, that it feels really good.
Yeah.
And I think also a main part is like your goal you're reaching, you got to make sure that that's gonna be your fulfillment.
I disagree with that actually. I don't think that should be your fulfillment.
Well, because what if you're working so hard to get to something, and you get it, and then it's not it? You just wasted all of this time and stuff.
Well, I think that's more of a mindset thing. I don't think that's. So are you saying that it's a matter of choosing the right goals?
No, I think just to make sure that it is good for you.
Right, so like choosing the goals that you think will get the best satisfaction and fulfillment at the end.
Or yeah, that you are sure it would like the best.
Okay.
Because like, what if I work towards a car, and then I get the car, and then I end up not liking it?
Well, if you don't like it, that's one thing. But if you feel like disappointed, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing. The way that I see it is that it's more of a mindset thing, right? So like if you go into it, you're not thinking like, I'm pretty sure you didn't think this way. You weren't thinking like, oh, once I get this car, it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna like, my life is gonna be like or you know what I mean? Like that isn't the end goal of your happiness. In a way. It's not the end goal of what you want. It's not the end goal of like your life. You know?
Yeah.
So once you get there, even if you didn't like that car, you could be like, damn, I put a lot of work into this and I enjoyed the journey, but like now I'm here. It's kind of like not that great. Yeah. But at least in that situation, you can kind of look back and be like, there's other things in your life that you're looking forward to. There's other things in your life that you're going on to.
I think
Yeah,
I think especially now as we were younger, the best things, I mean, everyone always says it, is like to get learning experiences out of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So like a lot of people are scared to do it, but you just gotta fuck up and do it, mess up, do whatever to learn from it. And it's hard because no one can be perfect, and everyone's been through something where you just wish you could have taken that back or regretted it. But going forward, because of that, you're better off.
So for me, it's just like, you got to be careful that you don't get caught into that cycle, or else you're never gonna be like satisfied by what you're doing. If everything that you do is the end goal for like your whole life, basically, then once you get there, and you're gonna need a new end goal, because you're just gonna be there and you'll be like, bro, like now what, you know? So it's kind of like diversifying your like happiness in your life. You know what I mean? So like, there's different things that do it for you. There's different things like your friends, your family, whatever, that all contribute to it together. And one thing, you can't rely on one thing only to like satisfy you. Yeah. Or else once you get to a limit with whatever that thing is, then you're just gonna be aimless and empty.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's obviously really great to have a direction in where you're trying to go. Yeah,
for sure.
But like, to do that direction, I think it's amazing when people they do it a lot to achieve their goal. But that's what I'm saying. The problem is always wanting more. Is we got to know our limit when to stop. And the thing is, I don't think it's bad to always want more and to want better. I honestly don't think it's bad until you want what you think is best. I mean, in your opinion, if that's what makes you kind of happy, then keep going for it. But I think as long as you could kind of step back and look at it and say, I am still happy working towards that goal, and this is what I enjoy, then it's gonna be okay.
Okay.
But I think the main problem people always say is like, if you're never gonna be content with what you're doing, then you're always gonna be chasing and never sitting back and
Well,
enjoying.
definitely, I agree with that. The last part for sure.
Yeah.
So, let's say somebody really wants to be a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Like they have like really good goals. Like, I want to be a doctor. I want to help people. I want to do this and that. And this is what I want to do, and I really want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And once I get, and like there's like, as you have like a career dream or something that you really want to do, like a dream.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like, you feel like once you get there, you're supposed to be content. But I think that usually that idea of content, like final content, is usually misguided. And I usually don't think that's accurate. Obviously, I haven't experienced as much in my life, but from where I am right now, it seems like that is not, really accurate. On the way to that journey, if you're sacrificing everything else that could possibly make you happy in the future, that's when I think that might be a problem. Because now, once you get there, if that thing does not do what you're supposed to do, and you get there, and you push away friends, family, give up on your hobbies, you know what I'm saying? Everything is, there's nothing else.
Yeah.
Then if you get there and you're not happy, then now what do you do?
That's true. Like, especially as for kids, it's hard for us because we're not making the most money right now. We're not doing all of that. Mm-hmm. And you want to do so much. I want to do this. And that's why I said I was going to be scared, because what if you get somewhere and you like it and you enjoy it, but you want more? Like, what if I get this one car, I like it, but I'm like, no, I got to have another car, and then another car, and another car. And it just keeps going. Right. And other people is too, like, if someone gets a degree, they wanted to get another degree now. They're not satisfied with that. They want to get another degree, then their master's. But it's like, I mean, maybe probably we could always boil it down is, as long as you're happy going through it, then it is okay.
I think there's truth to that, but I don't think that that's the entire, like for me, I don't agree with that completely. So yeah, I guess, like, as long as you're happy going through it, that's part of it. Like, that should be part of it. Like, if you're miserable going through it and you're just putting everything onto, like, the end goal, then that could be bad. But for me, I think that a bigger part of it is once, like, what happens after you reach the goal. So when you get a goal, if you're like, okay, I'm chilling, but I also want to kind of do this because this would be cool to me, this would be interesting, I think that, like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But if it's, I got to this point and now, like, even if I enjoyed the whole process, right, now I feel like I have to do this because I have to, like, I need something else to just do. Or like I feel like required or bound to do this, or else I will be, bored or aimless. And that's what I think is a problem.
And I think it changes from personality to personality. But for me, I think being super content is just kind of going to make life boring. And like I said, it's going to be different for everyone. But, like, excuse me, like you say, like, with rich people, when they have so much money, they could do everything. And that's when I feel like they get content with life, because they could just have everything. And that's why people will say they get bored or something. Right. They just have, because they have nothing to work toward. They're already at the top. Right. So.
But don't you think that, like, if there's a cap, well, let's say that happiness is, like, related to, like, always wanting more and, like, continuing to go up. Don't you think that if there's a cap on that, couldn't that be, like, a reason that, like, maybe that's not really correct? Maybe that's not, like, the right way to live. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's not helpful to us. Maybe that doesn't, like, really help us out. I don't really know what the alternative would be, though. Like, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. It does switch from person to person, but I'm saying, when I feel like working towards something and achieving goals is something that is really happy. But for people who are rich, especially people who are young and rich, they've already hit their limit so early in life.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like, what are you going to do for the rest of your life?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then I think that's probably because, like just being satisfied probably isn't directly related to, like, money or, like, having things. Yeah. Because if there's a cap on it, and there's a point where, like, after this, like, there's only downhill and you can never, like, really get to that point again, I feel like that means something must be wrong with that, like, way of living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something must be, or at least not by, when I say, like, way of living, I don't mean, like, getting rich. I just mean that, like, the idea that, like, I'm getting rich because I want to be happy. Yeah. So it's like, why wait to be happy until you're rich? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. But I was just saying, as, like, the problem is, like, once you, like, how is it gonna feel once you've hit the best you could do, when there is no more wanting more?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it feels.
That's what I'm saying. There's a problem both ways with always wanting more, and then once you've completed everything, and then you're so content you don't have any more. What do you do?
Well, if you're content, then you don't feel like you have to do anything, right?
But what if having everything doesn't make you content?
Oh no, well that definitely happens a lot.
Yeah.
That definitely happens a lot. And well, you saying like what do you do in this situation? Or like what other way are you supposed to be happy?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. That's what the problem with always wanting more, because I never really want to be content. I mean, I want to say I'm always content. I enjoy the life I have,
Right.
but not to be 100% content.
Because being content doesn't mean you just have to like sit around the house all day. You know what I'm saying?
I just
like, you can be content. Let's say, like I don't know, what like with cars. Let's just keep using that example because that's something that you like. So cars. If you have like 5 cars that are all tricked out, let's say that you've done 5 cars, you like them, and you're like, you know what, I'm good with cars right now. I think I'm good. That doesn't mean that now your life is just boring.
Yeah.
You know, even let's say you don't have any other major hobbies. You know, like that doesn't mean your life is necessarily like now you can't find happiness. That's what I'm saying. Like the other channels of happiness, you can have like your thing going to like one main thing. Like, okay, now I'm kind of like I'm chill with this. I'm good with this. It's still making me happy. But I don't have to build onto it. But now I can put time into other things like hobbies or whatever. You know?
That level of content is probably what everyone strives for. To the point where you literally have done everything and you just wake up every morning happy. Like you look at everything you have and you're like, wow, this is crazy. And you know, I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't wake up and think that too. Like, wow, I'm lucky to have all of this, and I'm like
so
that.
You don't, or you do?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm still happy with everything we have and do.
Right.
We could be in a third world country or something. We can't be doing this, recording to every you guys and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, I still have that level of content, but to reach that level of when you literally have like everything you want, and you don't want anymore, it's like a crazy thing to think about.
Yeah, no, it's definitely crazy to think about. I think okay, something that you said that like makes sense. Like appreciation and content are the same thing. You know what I mean? Like you can appreciate where you're at, and like appreciate everything that you have, but like still not necessarily be content.
Yeah.
So I would say, but I don't know. I don't know if the idea of like you have everything that you want is a good way to describe it. You know what I mean?
Because I'm saying like, what if I go up, I get the mansion I always wanted, I get the beautiful wife I always wanted, the kids,
okay,
the personal chef, all the cars I want, literally everything, to the point where I'm like, I have everything, and then I wake up that day, and I'm just done. I've finished everything. What am I gonna do? What are you gonna do for the rest of your life?
But see, that's the thing.
Or what if you wake up?
Okay, this. Sorry, finish first.
Or what if you wake up and you have everything? You're like, I still want more.
Okay, that's the thing though, right? So there's 2 ways to look at it, right? One is like, are you looking at your life like a checklist, like a to-do list, or are you looking at it as like an experience, an ongoing experience? Because if you look at it as a checklist, then once you check it off, you don't see that as an object of happiness anymore. You know, like once you buy the car, now it's just there. Once you get married, now like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like those things can all like compound off each other.
Yeah.
Like if you look at life as more like just as an experience, then like there's things that you want to do, but once you do them and once you acquire them, that doesn't mean that now they're just checked off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Listen to what you just said. Like I'll say it again. Like think about it. You said if I have a beautiful wife, kids, cars, and a personal chef, what am I gonna do with my life?
I'm saying what if I have all of that? Then I'm like, I'm just done. And you're like, there's the 2 ways I'm thinking of. Like, you have all of it, and you're like, okay, well, I don't want any more. And you're just super content. And that just makes you happy just having it.
But you're saying, like, what are you going to do for the rest of your life?
I mean...
And saying, like, you have, like, you know what I'm saying?
I
like,
guess
like
I've never hit that level of content.
I know, but I'm saying, like, things, like, that are on a checklist, like, having kids. Like, that's not something that just checks off and, like, that's done. That's a compounding, like, experience, like something that you experience.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that come along with that.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
And like even something simple as just getting a car, there's more things that come along with that, right? Like let's say you're into like the car community now and you're going to like car shows, like so you know what I mean? Like
true.
Achieving the checklist doesn't necessarily mean that like it's over. But then like what was the other way?
And I'm saying, what if you have all of it and like you've worked for all of this and that's what you wanted as a kid and you have it, but then you still say you want more. And then but I'm saying the levels of being so content that you're okay with life and to the point where you have everything and still want more, and you're never gonna hit that contentness. I feel like those are both two problems I would like to have. But which one would you rather?
Well, I don't think.
I think I would want super content, obviously.
Well, yeah, I don't think that I would let myself make it a problem. You know what I mean? Like I don't think.
But if I low key like the grind to get stuff.
No, yeah, for
to
sure.
do stuff.
Challenge is definitely a huge part of just enjoying life.
If we just got like 10 million subscribers out of nowhere, it wouldn't feel that crazy. Like we just did nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
All these videos we're gonna have to put out and work towards it is what makes it feel like we've earned it.
Right.
So I mean, for me, like I guess it's just my personality. I like to go out and do things to earn it, to get it.
For sure.
So I'm saying, if you get there, and even so,
sorry, go ahead.
I mean, even so, like, what if in life you don't hit that? Like, what if at the point you don't ever get that? So you're just not because that's what I'm saying. Most people like this pure level of contentness that we're talking about. Only like I'd say 3% of people ever hit that.
Rare. It's very rare.
No, not 3%. Like less than 1% of some people in the world have ever.
Because even the people that are rich probably don't get that.
Yeah, so I'm saying most people are always wanting more throughout their life. So that is the problem.
Okay. Like again, like the checklist versus the experience, right? Like if you're rich and you're looking at your life as like a continuous experience, you're probably not gonna feel like not content. You're probably gonna feel content, don't you think? Yeah. So I guess let's talk about the more like realistic thing where like people who aren't at that level.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy to think that people are this rich and can do. And let's not even say the richest rich. Like just say millionaires, because I mean, that's still really rich to us.
Yeah.
Even them, they're not content, and even the people that are just working minimum wage are not content. How the money difference is so crazy, but both are not content.
Okay, so
and like you said, so we could talk about how like us, like I work for not minimum wage, but just a little bit higher. But like all the people here, obviously most everyone watching really, I highly doubt a millionaire is watching this right now.
Amen. So you never know.
You never know. Future me. But like you never know. Like, well, most of us are. I could say probably not millionaires.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, where is the limit for us and you guys?
I think a better question is, like, how do you reach that contentness without being at those extreme levels? Like, because you think that like the same question kind of.
Yeah, because like, what are the chances that like I end up being a millionaire, and most people being a millionaire? So to be content with not being able to almost have everything is like, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, again, I think that like just the idea of just living life as a continuous experience can make people content without getting to those extreme levels. Because there's always something going on, you know. It's not just like a checklist. So I guess like let's say for us, right? Well, let's not even say for us, because now there's no real being content in a way. Because you're still moving through life. You're still like reaching a point. So let's say like when you move out and everything, let's say that's like the point where like these things really come into play.
We're on our own.
Yeah. You know? So let's say you're living on your own, you're working a job, whatever. Let's say you graduated from college, you're working a job. Like, how do that person become content? And I think it's just like from seeing life as a continuous experience. If you wake up in the morning and you're like, damn, this is the checklist of things that I have to do, and I'm gonna just do them, and that's my day. Yeah. I think that's a dangerous. Like that becomes like redundant and kind of like depressing. Because your life, your worth even is contained all in those checklists.
Yeah, it's like when you say like when you say look at it more like a checklist, it's more of like everything in between you and your goal is nothing, but the goal is it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So like if you say like more for experiences when you enjoy the way there and stuff, it's definitely going to make it better.
But yeah, like I was saying, like, right, for like just like the average person, these things, like it's not impossible to be content. I don't think. Right. But again, right, like if you wake up every morning and you look at life, this is the checklist thing. I gotta go to work. I gotta do this, and these things are my entire life or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's what consists of my worth, my life, my value.
And then also,
then that's not really good.
Yeah, I'll also say like, if you have like a checklist, and once you hit that last check, like you said before, it's like where do you go from now?
Yeah, exactly. Like if your checklist is your whole person, like you don't have any personality outside of that checklist. You know what I'm saying? Like even if it's literally like doing a hobby, like playing video games,
just enjoy
playing
life.
a sport, like doing something, like yeah, you're enjoying life. There's something in there's something in you. You have a personality. You have an identity. You know what I'm saying?
When people ask you, is like, "What's up?" or something, is like, "What you up to?" Like, just trying to get that car. Just
yeah,
that's all you talk
exactly.
about.
And like that's really good because like the only reason that you're going to the job, you're checking your list. You have this one goal in mind, and because of that one goal, you're like, all I have to do is work. All I have to do is this. Mm-hmm. Everything else, any other like character building, any other like character development that I could get, it doesn't even matter because like as soon as I get here, like it's all good. So I think it's just.
And not to sound like Lil Wayne, but you only live once, so you gotta make it count. You gotta make it big time. Rush.
What?
That's one of their songs. I guess we want to summarize it real quick.
Yeah.
And saying, my main problem with it, especially for me, as I've always been told, is by my parents from their past experiences, and if any of you have too, or if you realized it in yourself, is the problem of always wanting more, and knowing that we are younger, and we can't, and it is okay to always want more and to strive to be better, and do the best you can, but to know that what you're going through is still part of you in your life, to enjoy the experiences getting there, to enjoy the whole thing. So it doesn't seem so much like a checklist, more as just your life panning out. You're going to work, and it's not just work. You happen to make friends there. You have fun during your breaks off. You're talking and doing that. It's not as bad as you might put it. Everything you do, and as new experiences, learning. I think that's what it really is.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before with other topics, but not to look or compare your life to other people's lives, because then you're never going to be content. If you're not Jeff Bezos, then you're a failure. Like it's not how you should be thinking of it. Right. You gotta compare your life to you and how you like and how you want it. Don't let other people put their opinions on you to make you feel like what you're doing isn't what you want to do.
Right. And yeah, I think that's a good summary. I mean, for me, I would just say, live your life as an experience, not a checklist. Do what you want to do for the most part. You said it really well. But yeah, to live your life as an experience, not a checklist. And I think we'll see how it works for us. Yeah. But I'm thinking that that's a better way to become content than focusing on being rich or something like that.
Yeah, and I was gonna say honestly, if you guys have any opinions on anything we've said or how you feel you treat wanting more, or how you're content with your life or anything, put it down in the comments, because honestly, like, and a lot of YouTubers say that just to get their comments up, but I'm actually interested in to see what people have to say about this. Your opinions on anything we said or the overarching thing or anything, Also, please like and subscribe. That always helps us get through all of it. Yeah. And, just keep watching everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because, obviously we're not the end-all, be-all facts about how to live your life. So you want to know how everyone else's experiences impacted them. So, yeah, one last thing before we go, just wanted to, as we always do, just wanted to encourage you guys out there to have a meaningful conversation with somebody in your life. Mm-hmm. These conversations, they're getting a little bit rare, and I think that they're really important and they're entertaining. So I think you guys should definitely go out and do that. If you have a chance, just hit somebody up, be like, yo, let's talk about life and how we look at it. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.